Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Doerr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic. I hope everybody had a happy Easter, happy Ramadan, happy Pesach. I've got Linda Grindel in the house. Hi, Linda.
Ready?
It's Mondays with Linda and Mel. How was your Easter, Linda?
It was okay. I had my family, my grandson, my daughter, my sister, my nephews, and I had taken us all down the street. My sister stayed at this hotel that they revamped and it got good reviews. So I said, yeah, we'll go to the brunch there. The Easter brunch is about $75 a head, which is tends to be the normal Easter brunch.
Right.
And presentation, beautiful, staff, lovely. God awful food. I was just telling you that the only meat they had was prime rib. And it was so tough you couldn't cut it. It looked like it was, I like the rare. It looked rare, but a dinner knife couldn't cut it. So
It's the worst thing in the world when you go like to get, you're thinking you're going to get a nice brunch and the food sucks. It's like,
oh, and then the little egg station. My grandson's very picky about his scrambled eggs. He just wants scrambled eggs. First of all, they don't use real eggs. They use that.
oh, oh,
And then the guy burnt everything. I should have taken a picture of it. Just so unappetizing and just god awful. It was terrible. We were starving when we got home. We went through McDonald's. Shoot.
those liquid eggs are like,
We needed some damn food, you know what I'm saying? But that was a lot of money to spend, nearly $800 to spend for god awful food.
I wonder if they probably had a lot of other complaints too.
Do you think they did? I wrote to the whatever I could get an email for. I told him, I said, your presentation was beautiful. The staff was lovely, but that was the worst tasting food. And everybody at the table, we didn't want it, my sister tried to keep things going, but they ate their food and it was okay. But they're starving. But anyway, so I asked my nephew and my son, I said, seriously. And they said, Mom, this is awful.
Well, your heart was in the right place.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to make a fit right there, but the old Linda would have said, oh, hell to the no. I know you ain't mess. I can get my purse out. I'd been ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Serving this.
You'd be
I
like,
said I would have been able to whip up. So fortunately, I get Swans every once in a while, some of their stuff. They offered this deal on a ham. It wasn't a honey ham like I send you guys.
oh, those are good.
Those are delish. But I went ahead and took the deal. It was cheap. We got a sale on the ham. I said, why not? Maybe I'll use it for Easter. So fortunately, I had taken that ham out and defrosted it. And so I said, well, why don't I whip up a ham and yams and all that? I whipped it up, my friend. I got some real food on the table. You know what I'm talking?
Ham and yams and all that good stuff.
Yams and mashed taters.
Yeah.
Some corn.
Yum.
Yeah. I had bought an Easter cake, a whipped cream Easter cake. My daughter came out Friday. And Safeway, I'm going to tell you, Safeway, when you order a whipped cream chocolate cake with real whipped cream and custard filling, it is so good. Needless to say, we polished off the cake before Easter.
Well, I made the bread pudding, so I
bet that was a hit.
I use the panettone, the Italian Christmas bread. You can store it for up to a year as long as you keep it in a dark place, in a cool place. But anyway, and then you put amaretto in there and you put eggs and oh my God.
I don't use any liquor. I do the old West Virginia recipe my friend did. We don't use any liquor.
I'll send you the recipe for this. It's got
didn't my sister get the recipe from you?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
But I'll send it again. And then the whipped cream, I do my own whipped cream. I put sugar, little almond extract, vanilla. I get the pure vanilla extract.
Our friend Dan made lamb, and I cannot eat lamb than the man in the moon. My whole family could not. I don't know if it's because of Oklahoma, but he said, no, what you do is you marinate it and you do it. And he's talking to talk like he would want you to really salivate over this. And while he's talking about it, I'm going, I can't eat lamb.
I can eat lamb if it's not real lammy. If it's too lammy, forget about it.
Yeah, I've tried a couple of times. I did have one piece of lamb on a kebab in Hawaii with a guy I was going out with, and I was drunk. And I remember it tasting good, but I was drunk. They had belly dancers and stuff.
Might not have been lamb.
Yeah.
God, that's what you were eating. Could have been smogot. You know what smogot is? It's pigeon in Hawaiian. Smogot, smoked goat. It's the mountain goat, and it's really good actually. They call it smogot.
Well, I know that there was a YouTube. I was kind of looking because I had a girlfriend. Her husband was Iranian, and I also had an Afghanistan guy I used to know. Their family cooked the best. There's a seasoning they use. So I was kind of curious, and I was looking at the cooking channels in Iran and all this stuff. And somebody cooked a whole camel.
Oh, Jesus.
You could see it. It was on the pit, and they'd cut the legs off and the head, and then they were turning it, and it was a whole camel. That was it for me.
That would be enough to feed the whole community. No, I don't think I could eat camel.
No.
No.
But you listen, there's another gal in Vietnam that does a show, and they will eat, insects and frogs off a tree, and they eat anything. Yeah. And when you need to eat, you will figure out what to eat.
I guess if you're used to it, right? You eat what you gotta eat. But
yeah. You know what, as a delicacy is those things that come out once a year. It starts with a C.
Cicadas?
Yes, they love to get a whole pack of, they're pan frying them, and everybody's all excited.
It'd be like eating a roach. It'd be like, oh.
Oh, people love roach too.
Oh God. You know what? I'll just stick with my bread pudding and my
Yeah. Oh, with your bread pudding in a hit. Do you put the sauce over it? That's
so what I do is I make the bread pudding, and then I put the eggs and the amaretto and whatever. And then you pour it, you take the panettone and you cut it into little pieces, and you put it in a baking dish, and you butter that. But anyway, you put that in, then you pour the egg mixture over it, let it set for an hour so it all sinks in. Then you grate a little chocolate over it, a little bit, and a little nutmeg. And then so you put that in the oven at 350 for an hour. It gets like a souffle, but it'll come back down.
Yeah, I do Paula Deen's recipe.
Right. And then what I do is I take a stick of butter. That's all like Paula Deen, unsalted. Let me see, brown sugar, a little bit more amaretto.
Use eggs too?
Yes, you use 8 eggs.
Yeah, that's how much I use.
So I use whole milk and whipping cream and the custard, but then in the sauce too, milk, whipping cream, and you just let it get hot, bring it to a boil. And then once it's done, then you put the almond extract and the vanilla extract. And you can thicken it with a little cornstarch. And then you make your whipped cream, which I just put sugar, almond extract, vanilla extract, amaretto, and whip it. And you don't want it real sweet because the rest of it is sweet. Anyway, it's really rich. So when you cut the bread, you take a piece of the bread pudding, you put some of that sauce over it with the whipped cream, and it's hot, so the whipped cream starts to melt with a sprig of mint. Oh my God! And some toasted almonds. It's really good.
Now you got me hungry. Shoot. And now there's nothing left in the house. I made everybody take it home with them.
That's what I just left the bread pudding at my cousin's.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're ready for questions.
Yes, and listen, I do have a question to add to your list. I did a video, a single video yesterday, and I was supposed to talk about what is happening with these terrorist actions taking place in Israel. So I wanted to take a look at that.
Okay.
If we can't do that, I'll do another video and get to it.
Well, we can start with it right now. How about that?
Oh, by the way, Trump is moving to block Pence from testifying. He's so guilty.
He's doing what?
He's blocking Pence from testifying. Whoops.
How can he block Pence from testifying?
I don't know.
Can
you see me?
No, you clicked out on us.
There you go.
I can see you now.
It's the ghost in this house. It's tired of looking at me.
How can Trump block Pence from testifying?
He's trying to say executive privilege, my pachicos.
It's not going to work.
Not going to work.
And Pence will have to testify because I see him testifying. So there you go. Okay, so we want to touch on the Israeli terrorist actions or the terrorist actions in
Yeah,
Israel.
I just want to know how long is this going to go on? You know, Netanyahu is exiting stage left. Did he
Oh,
start this just to keep people worried about that and not looking at him?
I see Netanyahu gone, by the way.
He too.
Yes. But I don't know what happened in Israel. What happened?
There's been bombings. Oh, actually, Israel's been bombing Gaza. There was a whole bunch of little terrorist actions taking place.
I'm hearing he is behind it.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
So he can divert, deceive, detract, destroy, and divide, just like Trump does.
Well, remember, Bush used to do that too. He put us on the highest level. He said we were going to have more. He made us afraid till we finally realized every time his numbers went down, he'd do that. And people started calling him out on it. So he stopped it.
Correct. Netanyahu's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh my God, Netanyahu is part of this. He's talking to people.
Excuse me.
Interesting.
Lucky mailman. Lucky Lisa. She did, for some reason, she loves everybody. What she talks about. Excuse me 1 second. Excuse
Okay.
me. Let me just
Did you put it on pause? Put it on pause.
We're back. The mailman came and the dog let me know about it. Anyway. So yeah, Netanyahu, they're gonna find he's behind a lot.
Yeah.
He probably, a lot of times they'll start something just to take the attention away from them. So that's what I pick up anyway. Okay. Patty G asks, Mel and Linda, thank you for what you do for us. Question is, Robert F. Kennedy be successful on the presidential election in 2024? Actually, he's the son of Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah. I like his dad, but he's the cray one that says that COVID was the fraud, the vaccine was fraud. He doesn't believe in vaccinating any children.
Oh, I had that in my notes. He's an anti-vaxxer and he's into conspiracy theories. He's a Democrat, but still
Well, the Republicans are happy, but most Democrats are like, nah.
If we had another Kennedy in there that was like dynamic and things like that, then
yeah, no, he's not going to win
this one. I don't think so. I think one of their kids, I think it could be like maybe one of like Robert's children, or maybe like a grandchild to JFK or a grandchild to Bobby or something like that will run and win at some point, but not Robert Francis Kennedy Jr. I don't see it.
No, I mean, like I said, I love his dad, and he was my age when his dad got killed. So
I know. I remember when he got
I sympathize to him. Yeah.
Sirhan B. Sirhan killed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. He would have won for president if he wouldn't have been assassinated.
Oh, he would have definitely won.
Bad Sass. I like the name Bad Sass. That's good.
That's cool. That's cool.
What is the future of TikTok? She wants to know. Or he wants.
I don't see it going away. What did you feel?
I don't see it going away, but I see them really restricting it as to how the Chinese are hooking into it and using the demographics. For
there's something with TikTok that will change, something big that changed the face of TikTok.
It's going to change big time. I tell you what I see going under, though, is Twitter.
Oh, Twitter? You do still see it going under?
I do. Elon Musk probably uses it as a tax write-off. I don't know, but I see it going under. Or I see it changing a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't like Elon Musk.
Well, he's not making no money. He's lost a lot of money on it.
And he's going to lose a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay. Stephanie Lyons, fit fun workouts. That's hard to say. Fit fun workouts. Details for DeSantos. He needs to be gone. He is in his glory picking up the undeserved paycheck. When will he be leaving?
DeSatan?
Yes.
Well, he was talking about starting up his own army.
Oh, please.
He's a turnoff. Let me tell you, this is your two things that are going to happen coming up. abortion rights and guns. We're not asking to take your guns from you. We just don't want weapons of mass destruction. You don't need an AK.
You don't need an AR rifle. That's right.
Or yeah, and or to hunt even. It blows up the prey.
Right.
So I see him thinking he's all that, but most sane Americans aren't into him. Most people I talk to from Florida hate living there with him as governor.
Many people do.
Yeah.
You know, Travel says something, this to Satan is going to put tolls around Disney World roadways. And then GM Fullman one asked, will this plan work? And then Teresa Campbell commented something really amazing. It was, Satan can do whatever retaliation he wants against Disney. It's only building his negative karma. His decisions are purely emotional, not exactly what we want in a president.
He doesn't like anybody arguing against him.
That's right. She says Disney has been around over 50 years and Ron only 44 years. Satan will no longer be governor in 2026. Disney will be there for infinity and beyond.
Yeah.
That is true. When I read that, normally I don't read the replies to the questions, but when I read that, my psychic light bulb went, yes. So.
Yeah, and the other thing is his popularity is going to get more. I'm telling you, Trump's going to pull out something out of his hat towards Satan. That's going to affect him.
Well, you had the wrong end for Trump pulling it out of something.
Yeah.
But he's going to, absolutely.
Yeah.
Satan thinks he's in Trump's favor, but he's really not.
Yeah.
Okay. Dakota Kelt 1. Hello, Lady Linda. Marvelous Mel. Will there be
Thanks for calling me a lady.
There you go. Will there be any investigations focusing on the Koch brothers and their ties to dark money and its support of certain Republicans, the Supreme Court, and big business?
Absolutely, yes. I'm going to tell you that Shelton Whitehouse is part of it because let me tell you about this Justice Thomas. This Justice Thomas stuff is going to get huge. First of all, he did not report. They're going to find out he didn't report to the IRS all those gifts.
How did they find out that he got those gifts?
Shelton Whitehouse. He was digging into the dark money, and the Koch brothers are part of that. And all this stuff is getting flagged wide open. And, you know, they didn't want to have 9 justices in the Supreme Court because it could make the Supreme Court not taken seriously. Well, they're not being taken seriously now because they're all political.
Right. But, you know, it's funny when Dakota Kelt asked this question, will the Koch brothers and their dark money and its support of certain Republicans, blah, 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 be under investigation? I wrote down here, my guides told me to write this down like automatic writing. It's going on already. The investigation has already.
They're investigating. But remember, the Supreme Court changed the rules that you don't have to say who you are when you give money. That'll get reversed once we get good-minded Supreme Court justices in there.
That'll get reversed. Roe v. Wade will be upheld.
Gun stuff will be changed.
All this crap about, you know, banning the morning after pill, that's such BS.
If that goes to the Supreme Court, and you can tag this right now, my call is that the Supreme Court either won't even listen to it, or they're going to say, now you can't tell other states they can't have a certain pill.
Right. Well, they kicked it back to the states. So guess what?
Right. So they're going to say, no, this guy can't tell other states what they can and can't do.
I see tremendous changes coming on the court. This too shall pass.
Okay.
Okay. That was a good question, Dakota. Cora Smith says, hi, amazing Mel and lovely Linda. Thank you. Would you please take a look at Elsie Stefanik's future? She was a moderate Republican and then married an attorney who works for a gun lobby in Connecticut. Since he's not an actual since he's not an actual lobbyist, her husband, can she get away with this? Will she get voted out of office in 2024? My guides tell me she'll be voted out. What do you pick up?
Really? And this is who again?
Cora Smith. Oh, you mean the person voted out? Elsie Stefanik.
Okay. All right.
So you see her out?
I see her being voted out. Yes.
Okay. Oh, this is a good one from Laura Wright. Oh, so nobody's ever asked this one before.
Okay.
Does Ashley Babbitt, the insurrectionist that died on January 6th, have a message from the other side?
Okay.
Did you get it?
Ashley Babbitt. Well, she says she's sorry. I just heard her say she's sorry. She lost her life because of this.
And she realizes now that, you know, that it was all Trump's big lie that did.
Yeah.
I mean, she lost
She
her life
sees the
because of
truth.
Trump's big
Yeah.
lie. And she knows that.
That's what I'm getting. I'm getting that she's hold on.
Uh-oh, you're checking on something.
I'm talking to Ashley.
To who?
Ashley Babbitt. Ashley Babbitt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's definitely. She says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm seeing crying. She died pretty quickly, huh? Because it's like 1 minute she says, oh my God, I've been shot. But that guy was telling her not to come in and she did it anyway. But her heart's broken because of the lies that Trump said.
Right. She's
He
saying
lied to me. He lied to me.
he lied to us. It's not
The voting was not stolen, she's saying. But she was up in arms and very upset. She drank it. Yeah.
not worth losing your life over. That's what she's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lie. I mean, he lied to everybody.
Yep. Yep.
Which really, you know, all of those souls that were injured and died that day, he's going to be karmically responsible for all of that.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what she told me. All right. This one I think I've answered a million bazillion times, but I'm not being cocky about it.
Okay.
Okay. Rebel 59 says, hi, Mel and Linda. I think 45's wife died suspiciously falling down those stairs. Do you guys get anything on that? Also, did he hide government documents in her grave, and will that be discovered? If so,
Yeah.
she didn't. She fell down the steps on her own. I'm not.
I felt she was drunk.
Probably, whatever, for entertainment purposes only. But my guides are telling me there's no foul play involved.
Okay.
In other words,
I
no.
wasn't sure, but I felt she didn't realize what had happened. It happened so quickly.
Right. And I'm not seeing any government documents hidden in her grave because Trump actually felt like they were his. And why would he do that? He had them at Mar-a-Lago, the ones that he didn't sell.
For a while there, I was saying there was nothing in there, but people just swear there's something in there because her coffin was heavier. She was cremated, so why was the coffin so heavy?
See, I don't see anything in there.
Okay.
I mean, I've been a pallbearer and coffins are heavy.
Let me tell you something. That would be a pain in the ass to dig her up and try to get your paperwork. He kept all the paperwork himself.
Right. And there's nothing there except if she was cremated, then why would they bury her in a coffin?
Right. Yeah.
But my point is, I don't think that there's anything in the coffin but her ashes.
All right.
Okay. E.T. Phone Home. I love that name. Hi, Mel and Linda. The former governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker, can't stand him. He really screwed up Wisconsin. She said he's crawled out from under a rock to divide again. Grab this one. He wants to reform what kids are taught in school. Will he become relevant again or go back under his rock?
He'll go back under his rock.
He has
a lot of these people are going away. I'm telling you, it might be 2 years, but I'm feeling they're young. Somebody wrote me all upset because MTG, she had a flash that she was going to run for president. I don't care if she runs for head of the SPCA. She's not going to win.
She shouldn't run for dog catcher, much less.
No, she's not going to win. She's just not liked.
She is just obnoxious.
Oh, and she keeps telling everybody, I'm in Congress. I'm on a committee. I represent the good people of my constituents and blah, blah. And I represent America and America is tired. And it's like, don't talk for me.
She'll get her Waterloo.
This isn't tea, by the way. This is bourbon.
I'm eating ice. I'm drinking soda water, sparkling water. Okay. Ron Brock.
I'm just joking, of course, you guys.
Hi, Mel and Linda. Thank you for all you do for us. Do you see the hateful judge's ruling taking the abortion pill away from everyone to be allowed to stand?
No,
I
it
see.
won't stand.
Right.
Boy, that was good. Good that judge in Washington put a stay on it.
That's right. That's right.
Because his word is as good as the other guy. So yeah.
So that's a stalemate.
Yeah.
But anyway. Okay, Carol Sinkowski. Will the Electoral College be eliminated so we can elect a president based on popular vote?
Down the road, not right away, but down the road, yes. And I guess Biden has sort of announced he's going to run again for sure.
I see
He'll win. He'll win because what they got going sucks.
Right.
They don't have a representative that's like that Asa guy. Who was talking about that guy that they liked? The governor of a state, Asa Hutchinson or something like that.
What about it?
Well, he put his hat in.
Oh, okay.
And but the thing is, he's against abortion. So you can't have these people that are saying women don't have rights.
No.
Or what children can learn in school.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Good morning, Linda, Mel and Linda. New revelations in the New York indictment regarding former doorman and claims of a love child.
Oh, that's the truth too, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently he got somebody that worked at the tower. I think it was a maid. And he has a child. I think she may live someplace else and he probably pays her under the table.
Okay.
But yeah, he got the doorman. They didn't pay him $30,000 because it was a lie. They paid him because it was the truth.
I'll answer it this way. My guides tell me the truth will come out. And
Okay.
what MGVIS, that's what the name that she lists here, or he lists, what MGVIS says here, I'm hearing is accurate. How's that?
Okay. Okay.
Well, there's another part, though. Grab this one. MGVIS says, also a documentary regarding the evangelical church and how they ended up endorsing him via blackmail. Whoa. So I hadn't heard about that. Have you?
No, I haven't heard a thing about it.
Well, I'll have to look forward to take a look at it. Okay. Veronica Carmosino wants to know. Hi, Mel and Linda, Supreme Court judges. I listened to another psychic and she said Thomas will step down before the year is over. And Amy has a sickness that might not let her continue to sit on the board.
I've seen that years ago. I saw her leaving, but I don't know when she's leaving, but I felt something was going to hit her hard.
I see
Some sort of illness.
I see Thomas leaving because of all the scandal.
Let me tell you, when I did my deep dive yesterday, I saw Thomas looking at a book, and what he was thinking is, can I retire? He's like 75, 74, 75. But see, he doesn't want to retire while Biden's in office.
Correct.
That's the only thing that's holding him there. But as this gets going, including the IRS hit that I got, that Thomas is going to be in real trouble.
You know what? My light bulb just went on.
What?
What I'm seeing is a lot of those cases where some of the judges should recuse themselves and they didn't.
Yeah.
At some point, those will be argued before the Supreme Court again. In any case that a justice voted for example, that where they didn't recuse themselves, those decisions are going to be overturned.
Oh.
So in other words,
I get that that guy, they said they had nothing before the court.
Right.
The guy that he's friends with that collects Nazi memorabilia.
Right.
They've been friends, dear friends, over 20 years. Yeah, I would call him dear friend too. He's dropping $500,000 for trips for me. But anyway, they said that there was nothing before the court. But remember, he met with the Verizon, he met with bigwigs for different companies. I'm telling you, that is a lie. They're going to find out that is a lie. There's actually people that he befriended on these holidays that had things before the court.
Of course. And what I'm seeing is that, and he voted in their favor because they gave him lavish gifts. The bottom line is a lot of those cases will be overturned because they'll be re-argued again because it wasn't a fair outcome. In other words, the court was kind of bought, if you will.
Yeah.
So, and there's going to be a lot more coming out.
Exactly.
But what I do see coming, my guides are showing me there's a lot of rules and legislation that will say to the Supreme Court, you cannot accept these lavish gifts. If you're on a case where somebody has contributed to you or done whatever, you must recuse yourself. You can't, and you must disclose everything to the IRS.
Well, Amy said she would, and then her husband had a case that went before the court and she was on it.
Correct.
They blatantly don't care.
That's my point. And there's going to be rules and regulations to prevent that. That's
Yes.
what you guys are telling me.
Oh, even Roberts now is arguing, no, you don't have to oversee us, because they're saying now they're going to make them, step like the other justices do. There was one woman said that her friend was a justice, not with the Supreme Court, with another court. She wouldn't even let people buy her lunch.
I agree. But they will be overseen. Absolutely. Excuse me, my allergies today. Okay.
And by the way, when Jenny Thomas started that Federalist Society thing, that little group she did, $500,000 came from that guy to help her finance it and set it up.
There you go.
It's huge. I'm telling you, this is just breaking and Shelton White, is his name Sherrod Brown or Shelton Wyas?
I don't know, but what's going to happen is they're going to set standards, and the Supreme Court will be overseen by some kind of ethics committee or ethics whatever, but that'll truly be by nonpartisan. And yeah, it's going to come out that you can't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think it's White House. Anyway, he's coming in and cracking them eggs, and let me tell you, it's not pretty. And I can't believe Justice Roberts would say, no, we don't need oversight. Yeah, you do. There has not been a time that the Supreme Court has been so horribly looked at. And the other thing is there's an actual Republican. I don't know what house she's working for, but she's a Republican. They said her name. I think it was Lisa something. She's saying they just need to ignore what that judge said and just keep doing the drug. Just ignore that judge.
ignore what judge?
The judge has said no more on those pills.
Oh,
What an idiot.
well, somebody then said that put a stay on it, but now it's a stalemate. But
Yeah, I hope it goes before the Supreme Court, because they will kick it back.
well, if they, they're going to have to kick it back to the states because they've already kicked Roe v. Wade back to the states. How much you want to bet a pharmaceutical company started giving them lavish gifts under the table, they'd change their mind in a nanosecond?
Yeah.
It's just, but I see oversight coming for the Supreme Court and term limits for the justices as well.
That's going to happen. 18 years.
Yep, that's what I see. Okay. Let's see. Pat Spicer wants to know. I was wondering if the recent classified document leak related in any way to the classified documents taken by 45. I feel like they're related somehow.
What classified documents?
Pat Spicer says she's wondering if the recent classified documents leak, where those documents were leaked recently about what we were planning to do with Ukraine and what their strategies were and all of that. She's wondering.
Well, Trump wasn't in office when this stuff got taken.
I know, but there might have been people there that was leaking it to him.
Oh, there's people, Trumpsters inside the FBI and CIA that would be happy to leak that stuff.
So she's asking if it was any way related to the classified docs taken by 45 Doc. I say yes, some of them was, absolutely.
Well, I don't see them related. These are other things with Russia and stuff, but no. And North Korea, there's other stuff, but not with Ukraine, maybe with them trying to get money or getting him to say that say crap about Biden. I'm saying no.
I still think some Trumpster was behind it.
Yeah. It could be a Trumpster, but not Trump himself.
No, not Trump himself. No.
Yeah.
No. All right. GM Fullman 1 asked, how much more of Jim Jordan and the crazy GOP hold on to destroy our country? Jim Jordan says that the House holds the purse strings and they are going to defund the FBI, DOJ, police, etc. You ever notice when the GOP takes over one of the houses of Congress, or both houses, how chaotic things become?
And then they concentrate on stuff that got nothing to do with their constituents.
Nothing to do with anything.
So they say that we are, what do you call the DOJ and stuff? We're making them punitive towards Trump. But Trump did illegal things. I don't understand how they can act like, oh, you guys are just picking on him. No, he did things. If Soros had paid one of the justices and taken her on vacation, what kind of screwed up festival do you think would happen? They would be on that like flies to you know what.
You know, it should be punitive. He did something wrong. He should have to face consequences.
Yes.
Because if a Democrat did that or an independent, oh my God, the Republicans.
Oh my God.
But you know, to them, they point fingers at everybody else, but yet it doesn't. For them, somehow they think they're immune. It shouldn't.
They don't hear the logic either. They don't want to know
the same rules for them. They want to play by their own rules, and
yep.
You know, it's like I see the Democrats back in control of the House, and I see people like Jim Jordan gone. You know, he's going to be dog meat. This is like the crazy McCarthy era. And look what happened to Joseph McCarthy. Same thing's going to happen to Jordan. Same thing's going to happen to this Kevin McCarthy, because he really is a Kevin.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of these people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, they've got their moment of glory, but you know what? They're going to come crashing down.
I've been saying this since I started the YouTube channel. I said, this is a lot like Joe McCarthy. This is going to be all this stuff and then boom.
Correct. All right. Pat Lee, she says, hello, dynamic duo. Florida governor death sentence just signed a new law permitting Florida residents to freely carry concealed weapons. No permit, no background check, no training needed. He did this behind closed doors just last week. I'd like to know, one, how much money he was bribed with to do this and from whom? And number two, can the federal government do anything to override and stop this?
Who's going to go to Florida? Who wants to visit Florida when any Joe Blow and their neighbor can have a gun on them?
Well, if the federal government bans assault weapons, then guess what? It has to stand for Florida as well.
Yeah.
And at some point, there will be a ban on assault weapons. Nobody's trying to take anybody's guns.
Right.
So I do see that there was some money coming through from certain organizations whose names I won't mention. That's what my guides tell me, to get this passed, because what does that mean? More gun sales. So who makes money on that?
Yeah.
Think about it.
And then poor people pay with their lives.
Yeah, 4 people in Kentucky today. And wait until that happens in Florida. It happened already.
That's what I've been feeling. I've been feeling there's going to be some outbreaks of gun violence, and it's all because of his new rule.
Well, look at what happened with the Pulse nightclub. It was that gay nightclub about 5 or 6 years ago where all those people were killed. Of course, the Saints not thinking about that because they were LGBTQ, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, this is going to come back to bite him in the butt big time, my guy.
Big time.
Can citizens sue the state of Florida for failure to protect? The answer to that, I would assume, is yes, Pat. People living there can, and they probably will.
Well, can you imagine even the police department, what they have to live with?
Oh my God. It's gotta
They
be,
have to worry about being killed if they pull somebody over. It's
oh yeah.
terrible.
It's like, hello, no background.
And so what? Yeah, I got this big ass gun sitting next to me, but it's my right.
Yeah, right. I'm so sick of hearing, when all these people get killed, well, let's send our prayers. Sending prayers is not good enough. We need gun control legislation.
Yeah,
It's an old story now, you know.
yeah.
And then when our legislatures did peaceful protests in Tennessee with the students who had said enough is enough, they get expelled from the house down there because they're Black. And
Yeah.
that is racism.
Oh, well, we know what they said. But listen, their lives were miserable before even. Just there was only, they have overtaken. Tennessee's is mostly Republican in that house because they gerrymander and stuff. And so whatever little group they had of Democrats, they weren't allowed to speak. They were cut off in the middle. There was no debate. They were just acting like they were nobodies.
Well, those people they expelled ain't done. I'll tell
Well,
you.
listen, that guy that expelled him was the one who urinated on a fellow person's chair because he was mad at that person.
Well, what does that tell you?
And then you got somebody who's in trouble for sex crimes, and you got somebody who was stealing, and no KKK member has ever been expelled from that house.
But those people that were expelled, I'm telling you, they are going to rise like political
I
giants.
saw that. If you watched my show the other day, you'd see I said exactly the same thing. I looked at both of them, and
Oh.
I'll tell you, the one that reminds me a little bit in his presentation of Malcolm X, was, I think his name's Pearson. The way he's so direct and the way he talks, he's got this energy that I think he really has, and I see a future in politics for him.
Me too.
The other one's more like a sweet love dove, kind of a sweetness. And I see a lot of heartache with him, but he's going to be in charge of justice.
But just because he's nice and easygoing, don't underestimate him.
No.
There's a saying in my Italian family, you might think somebody is a fluffy white kitten, but they can be a tough meatball. And
Yeah.
that's what I see for these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Macarena Toledo. I love that name. Toledo actually was Spanish as Toledo. It says, thank you for all you do for us and bringing us peace in these times. My question is, what is the future of Andrew Tate? He was released from jail and is currently serving house arrest in Romania. Will he return to jail or be released? I see him going back to jail.
Okay.
What do you see?
I think he's going back to jail.
So do I. That's what I see. Okay. Oh, this is a good one by Harriet Smith. I love this. She says, I love you guys. Thank you, Harriet. Is it my imagination or is this world becoming unrecognizable? That's
I understand what she's talking about.
So do I.
No, it's not your imagination. It's getting uglier and I'll tell you, these young folks are going to stand up and be heard.
That's right. What I see coming in this country at some point is a lot like the protest movement in the 60s and early 70s with the young people to say it was enough.
Well, they're saying that using the dead, what they call dead elections, where mostly just white middle class people show up, are not like that. They can't predict that anymore because so many people showed up even for that Wisconsin justice. That's which would normally be considered a dead election.
That's right.
But so many people showed up that it was just Armageddon. It's like, boom, because the young people. Now check this out. The House is Republican, but they're about ready to change that because they're going to change all those gerrymandering things they did.
Exactly.
But do you know that House is even talking about impeaching this judge before she even sits down?
Well, it's not going to work. They have to have reason to impeach her. And let's say they did. But the thing is, if it went to the Senate, it would never pass the Senate.
Right.
But to this, when Harriet Smith says it's unrecognizable, JB commented, there was some good comments. She said, it is to me, especially in this country. First, we stopped making products and importing everything. Then we became a service economy and a nation of consumers. Now we don't even have service anymore. And Pat Lee says, I agree with you and Harriet. I'm 62 and I'm in a state of shock almost all the time. She said, God bless us. But you know what? This too shall pass. It really shall. As I said, I see my guides show me a lot of people, young people protesting again against intolerance and wanting equality and all that stuff. So let's throw in the towel. Let's continue to let our voices be heard.
Yeah.
My guides. Yeah. We got time for a few more.
I got a dentist appointment in 2 minutes.
Uh-oh.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Looks like you're SOL though, girlfriend.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. Michael Nagoyan says, concerning more tornadoes this year, I've read in Wikipedia about a 2022 Russia-Ukraine tornado outbreak that occurred in September on September 22nd or on September 22, months after Putin invaded Ukraine. Is there a possibility of more strong tornadoes in Europe, let alone Russia and Ukraine? And the answer to that is yes. You know, inclement weather.
What do you mean, actual tornadoes? Yes. And they didn't talk about it on any other media. I've never heard this. First time I've heard this.
Evidently, there was an outbreak, but I see more outbreaks coming there.
Okay.
Oh, this is a good one. Karen Stenius. Will Sweden be able to join NATO? And I say absolutely yes. I see them as a member. Turkey and Hungary have blocked it so far. Yeah, because they're doing Putin's.
I thought they joined them and they've been accepted.
No, not yet. Because
Turkey. Was that Finland?
Finland, but Turkey and Hungary blocked it. But I see that it's because Turkey and Hungary are doing Putin's bidding. But I see Sweden in NATO. I really do. A lot sooner than later.
Right.
Okay, Sylvia Munoz. Okay, hello, psychic detectives. Question, she says. Senator Tommy Tuberville from Alabama is blocking Biden's candidates for military positions. He wants to defund our military. What do you see? He will not succeed. That's what I see.
Let me look. And I know they're desperate to get military people in there.
He's not going to succeed, this Tommy Tuberville.
He's succeeded so far.
Oh, and blocking Biden's candidates for military positions?
Yes, loads of them.
I just see him not being successful at the end of the day.
Yeah, he's not going to be successful. He's causing a lot of chaos. And it's very important that we have these people. So something's going to happen. Whatever he's going to do is going to end overnight. So I don't know what's going to happen to him.
She's got 3 questions here. Number 2, will Governor Abbott pardon Daniel Perry, who murdered a Black Lives Matter victim? Daniel was found guilty.
Yes, he's going to.
I see him pardoning him, yes.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here again, it's not going to look good for DeSantis.
No.
Not at all.
Not DeSantis. He's not pardoning him. It's the Texas governor.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I had it mixed up. Abbott.
Yeah.
Yes, Abbott will pardon him, but it's not going to look good for Abbott. I can tell you that. No, because basically what Abbott is saying is Black lives don't matter, and he's giving his middle finger to the court that it was
a jury trial.
Right.
He was found guilty, but he's saying, "Oh well."
Right.
That's okay. Let him do it.
Okay, this third question, Sylvia has really good questions, by the way.
Okay.
Why is Lindsey Graham so scared? What's he hiding? Another psychic read that Lindsey likes a company of, well, I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah.
What's he afraid of?
He loves Trump. I'm going to tell you right now.
Of course. He's afraid that who he really is he's afraid that who he really is will be made public. And he's taken such a stance against that and other people. What if it comes out about him? And it will. And I'll leave it at that. I didn't answer the rest of her question because.
Okay.
All right. Mel Broussard. Hi, Mel. I love it when you two get together.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I did have an 11 o'clock Zoom meeting. She just wrote and said, I'm here. And I said, oops. She said, no worries. I says, I'm sorry, I'm with Mel right now.
All right, let me just finish this and we'll go. How's that?
Okay.
All right. Well, Texas Governor Abbott, oh no, we've already answered that.
Okay.
When will the criminal Congress start to be indicted for their criminal actions? Very soon.
Oh, listen, Fanny's coming out with some stuff come May. Let me tell you what, it's going to be a, you know what. And I also think the trial with the woman he assaulted is going to be huge. I really do.
Oh, that's going to be huge. You're right.
It's going to be huge.
Remember, we have both said that this indictment that just happened was tiny. There's going to be
this is the nothing. Let me tell you guys, it's good. It's not bad. But he is going to get hit. You know what he just put on his social media yesterday on Easter Sunday? World War III.
There you go.
But the thing is, here's the deal, you guys. That's why I don't want you to be afraid. He called out for people to protest on his behalf. What was there, 100, 200 people in New York?
Correct.
Lawrence O'Donnell lives down there and walked through that crowd, and he said they were just the nicest people, just calm. And they loved their president, but they weren't angry. And then he did have maybe several dozen people show up in Florida. But nobody's going to protest on his behalf due to what happened January 6th.
They're not going to.
Because he said he was going to give a blatant pardon for all those people, and he didn't.
Well, it's like those kids that were protesting in Tennessee. They tried to compare those two Congress people that exercised their constitutional right for peaceful assembly. They tried to say it was like January 6th. It's like, what?
No.
January 6th was an insurrection. These were kids protesting their right to protest because they're tired of being killed in their schools.
Yes. Yes.
There's a big difference there. They're mixing apples.
Let me tell you, these young people are tired of worried about being shot, and they're tired of men trying to tell them what to do with their bodies, and it's a done thing. Somebody on the news, I can't remember, it might have been this morning, was talking about Justice Roberts begged Kavanaugh not to vote against Roe versus Wade. He begged him. He tried to get him to be the one to, and he didn't. And he said it was the worst mistake this Supreme Court ever made, because it's just ruined them.
And it's also divisive, and it's not listening to the people, and it's letting these ultra right-wing crazies who are governors, especially 2 or 3 of them, mess up everything.
And look at who they are. Look at what they said when they were asking to be a justice. Oh no, Roe versus Wade is standing. We would never touch that. Amy lied. Justice Thomas lied. Kavanaugh lied. They all lied.
They all lied. Anyway.
So
well, I see it changing again. So there you go.
Yes.
All right, my dear.
You guys don't worry, because he's calling for like World War III. If he could get Putin to do something to us, he would. But
he would.
He has no strength anymore.
Right. Okay. All right, my dear.
All right, honey.
Next week.
Next week, and then on the 21st, you, me, and Kevin are doing answer anybody's questions.
Correct. All right. So next on your channel. All right, sweetie. Love you.
Okay. Talk to you. Cheers.
Right. Bye.